What up? It's Midsoft with another Outriders video. This time it's my Pyromancer build that I'm calling the Glass Cannon because I have absolutely zero health. You pretty much die by getting flicked. Like if a boss flicks a boogie at you, you're dead. But it does an incredibly large amount of damage very quickly, which is why it's cool and fun. So yeah, let's get into it. These are the three skills: Heat Wave, Overheat, and Ash Blast. Picking these pretty much makes it so you want to combo Heat Wave first to inflict burning, Ash Blast to inflict ash, and then Overheat to blow everyone up, and that's pretty much how it works. And then here's the skill tree. I use a little bit of the top tree and the bottom tree at the same time. So the bottom tree, I got Anomaly Power, increase your skill damage against marked enemies, weapon damage anomaly power, increase anomaly power, and decrease all cooldowns. And then up top we got weapon damage, we got immobilize skill cooldowns, which reduces the cooldown for Ash Blast, and then increase weapon damage by 10% against marked enemies, which is going to be pretty much everyone. Enemies afflicted with Ash receive more damage, which is again everyone. Against marked enemies, activating your immobilize skills increase your anomaly power by 45%. So once again, when you activate Ash, you're getting more anomaly power. Resistance piercing, weapon damage against marked, weapon damage against marked. Every time Ash is afflicted on an enemy, vulnerable is as well, so you get a bunch of vulnerable against the people that have ashes on them, which is pretty much everyone all the time. Decrease reload time, which is just kind of a filler to get to the end. And then we got hurt twice as long, which increases damage against elites, and elites also deal more damage to you, which is another reason why this is sort of a glass build. Enemies afflicted with Ash receive 15% more damage and reduce cooldowns for immobilized skills. So that's pretty much it. And then for weapons and armor, I use Death Shield and the Nimoy, or you guessed it, Fortress and Shadow Comet on the Death Shield. You'll see that Anomaly, like my abilities, are pretty much the way you deal most of the damage, but when you need weapon damage and you don't have a ton of firepower or whatever to like shoot people, which this build doesn't necessarily have bad firepower, but using Shadow Comet is instantly 231,000 every 3 seconds, and then using Moaning Winds on the Nimoy is 617,000 every 8 seconds. So they're pretty busted, and you can kill stuff really quick with them. And then Fortress, of course, is pretty much my only defense, which shots increase your current armor and resistance by 5%, stack 3 times, and at maximum stats, a buff is doubled, and additionally grants 30% damage increase for 10 seconds. So Fortress is pretty crazy for getting armor as well as big damage. So that's why you want to get yourself a Death Shield. You can slap that on your guns. And then for gear, ignore the way all the gear looks because I have transmog on them. I use the Helmet of Akari for anomaly power, skills, life leech, and status power, and then the Fire Tsunami, which increases the width of the firewall. So basically Heat Wave firewall is just huge and takes up the whole room. Ashen Boost boosts my damage against enemies afflicted with Ash by 20%, which again, I'm afflicting everyone with Ash, so that's why that's so good. I do more damage to all of them. Then I wear the Armor of the Akari, Anomaly Power, Skill, Life Leech, Cooldown Reduction, Detonator, which makes Overheat's cooldown reduced by 50, and then Tidal Wave, so I can activate Heat Wave a second time. You can also, there's another Heat Wave mod that lets you get Heat Wave a third time, which I don't really think is necessary for this, but you can do it if you really want to just keep sending firewalls out at people. And then Waistcloth of the Akari. I'm using Anomaly Echo, which I don't know if I want Anomaly Echo, but right now it's the best pants I have. And honestly, I've played this character for like 100 hours. It's the only good pants I've ever gotten. So it's not bad because I just get more firepower and anomaly power, so I'm completely fine with it for more damage. But you might be able to find something better, basically. And then Burnout is absolutely necessary because all damaged enemies take 25% more damage. It's basically the debuff mod when you're using Heat Wave. This build is really good for playing with other people, a lot more so than soloing. You probably won't want to solo most 15s with this build. So burnout is huge because you're going to make everyone else around you better because they're all going to do more damage to all the enemies. And then I use a purple set of gloves that have anomaly, cooldown, and status on them. Pants on Fire makes it so overheat increased by 48,000 damage to enemies who were damaged by the skill but did not have their status consumed. And then Death Sentence, which is another major mod for Ash Blast. Your weapon damage and anomaly damage against enemies affected by the skill are increased respectively by 40 and 30% for 8 seconds. So basically you just do way more damage every time you hit somebody with Ash Blast. And then finally, Boots of Akari have max health, skills life leech, and cooldown reduction. Master Consumer is another huge one that you absolutely need. The skill consumes either burn or ash status to deal damage. Consuming both at once increases damage by 150%, which basically I'm burning everyone with Heat Wave and then afflicting ash status with Ash Blast, and then they all pretty much explode from overheat with Master Consumer and do 150% damage. So it's absolutely insane damage. That's why you're able to just nuke an entire room basically. And then the last one, Ash Increase Range, does just that. It just increases the range by 66%. So things you could do better with this are, one, get a set of purple boots instead of these boots that you could put Master Consumer on and Ash Blast, or whatever 2 mods you can find that hopefully have these 3 attributes instead: anomaly power, cooldown, status power. The reason I don't have that is because these are the best boots I've found in like 100 hours played, and I don't like Protection of the Flames, and I basically just can't do this build without having Master Consumer. So yeah, I did that a long time ago and now I don't like it, so that's basically where we're at with that. So yeah, if you can find a better pair of boots with those three attributes, anomaly, cooldown, status, it'll be better than this, because max health, skills life leech aren't helping as much as anomaly and status power would. So that's what I recommend doing, because you only need the 3 pieces of Akari to get the actual bonus, which, speaking of that, I have 3 pieces of Akari. So the bonus is every enemy damaged by Heat Wave grants 50% anomaly power bonus for 10 seconds. So again, you're constantly throwing out Heat Wave first, and it's just buffing everyone around you and yourself, and you're just doing way more damage to all the enemies afflicted with burn. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to play a video real quick of me running through Boomtown solo using this build. Again, you'll see that it has like 0 health whatsoever and can die pretty easily, so I don't recommend like building this if you're just going to run solo all the time. But if you're playing with people, it can be really, 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 really good, especially if you have like high damage characters with you, because you're going to like take out the smaller enemies really fast. So if they're shooting elites, you can basically debuff elites and like do a lot of damage to them as well. And you'll see like how crazy it is. Like, this is the type of stuff you want to do to like big bosses and just have a techno meld them with bladed rounds or something. But yeah, so here is the gameplay using this character. If you found this video helpful at all, please like and consider subscribing to my channel, and I will love you forever. And peace.
Split.